In Genesis 22:6 says that Abraham took the wood, get the picture, the wood for the burnt offering and placed it on his son Isaac. Do we not see Jesus all the way in Genesis 22? That he took the wood and put it on his son. And he himself carried the fire and the knife. As the two of them went on together, Isaac started to wonder a little bit, and he spoke up and he said to his father Abraham, "Father." "Yes, my son," Abraham replied. "The fire and the wood are here. I'm doing an inventory. We got everything we need except one thing. Where is the lamb for the burnt offering? In other words, I need some details." And Abraham answered God. He only said one thing that he had found to be true over 1,500 miles of traveling. One thing that he had found to be true when he went to Egypt to survive for a little while. One thing that he knew to be true, even though he didn't know where this was leading. God himself will provide the lamb for the burnt offering. And in this moment, we wonder, was Abraham bluffing? Did he really know that that was going to happen? Because that is what happens. It's not a lamb, but it's a ram, because God isn't going to ever do it exactly like you think he is. But he says it like he knows that God himself will provide the lamb for the burnt offering, my son. And watch this. I get the picture here that Isaac has seen Abraham trust God before. He has seen his father trust God before. Why? Because the deeper the trust, the less the need for details. Isaac told him God will provide, and the two of them went on together. He said, God will provide, and Isaac said, let's go. And so Isaac is saying, let's go, while Abraham is letting him go. And the moment comes. Now, just lock in with me for a minute. When they reached the place God had told him about, not the place he knew in his mind, God showed him when he got there. Abraham built an altar, which was a place of sacrifice, which was a place of death, which was a place of worship. He built an altar there and arranged the wood on it. He bound his son Isaac and laid him on the altar on top of the wood. I know how hard this is for us to get our minds around. That's why I was hesitant to preach it. But the one that I was most hesitant to preach in this whole series is the one that healed me the most. Because what I saw in verse 10 changed my life. He reached out his hand, and he is reaching for the instrument, the knife, and he's wrapping his fingers around the knife, letting go of his son. And as he reached out his hand and took the knife to slay his son, but the angel of the Lord called out to him from heaven, Abraham, Abraham. He said it twice because he was holding the knife and he thought his son was about to die and he didn't know what to make sense of it. But in the moment that he's holding the knife over his son, here comes the angel at that moment saying, Abraham, Abraham, let go. God says, let go at the very moment that Abraham thinks it's over. And when God said what he said, Abraham, Abraham, here I am, he replied. Verse 12, do not lay a hand on the boy. Somebody shout, let go. Shout it again, let go. Let go. I know you came this far thinking this was how it's gonna end. But the moment that the angel spoke, he said, don't lay a hand on the boy, don't do anything to him. Now I know that you fear God, and now that you've let him go, let go. Now that I know that I can trust you with what I taught you, that I can trust you, that you don't love it more than you love me. Now that I can trust you, that you're embracing my promise, not your plan. Now that you have let go, because verse 12, you have not withheld your son. You have let go of your son. Now let go of the knife. And God is so strategic that at the moment that Abraham was letting go of the knife, which is what he thought he had to do. At the moment that God said, let go of the knife, verse 13 says he heard something other than the angel rustling in the background. Abraham looked up, and there in a thicket, he saw a ram caught by its horns, and he went over and took the ram and sacrificed it as a burnt offering instead of his son. Verse 14 says, so Abraham called that place, the place where he thought Isaac would die, that place, the place where he thought it was over, that place, the place he didn't even know he was going or what God would do, but he said he would provide, and he did provide. What am I trying to say? God's got you in this place. God's got you in this place.